Guys, your boy is about to watch Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Sorry, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Bleh. Brand New Day. Got the tickets last night. Gonna do a solo watch. Yep, just me and myself. It's gonna be at 9:45 a.m. The time is 8:53. So yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie. I don't really have much expectations for it. I'm just hoping that it's good. I checked on IMBD, or is it IMDb? Yeah, y'all know the site for like movie reviews. Saw the reviews. It was pretty good, so I'm excited. Gonna see the movie. Um, yeah, I like Spider-Man. I think growing up, Spider-Man was definitely like one of my favorites, if not my favorite. My words are like, anyways. Spider-Man was definitely one of my favorites, if not my most favorite growing up. Yeah, I loved Spider-Man. I loved Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Yeah, I grew up on his movies, and I really liked No Way Home too. No Way Home was good. I've pretty much seen all of the Spider-Man movies. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think I've seen Homecoming. It was Homecoming, or it was another one. It was one with Vulture in it. I don't think I've seen that one, which was like pretty much the first one. But yeah, we're gonna go see this movie. Um, and yeah, I will get back to you. Wow, guys, that movie was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie, like a lot. I don't even know where to start, honestly. Man, that movie is probably my favorite movie this year. Right after, nah, I think I think I put this movie above Obsession. Obsession was really good, but I really like this movie. Um, yeah, just from like the beginning, this movie, this movie really felt. When I was watching this movie, all I could think was this is Spider-Man. This is what Spider-Man is supposed to be. And just from the beginning and just throughout the movie, like the visuals, seeing like all the fight scenes, the way he's swinging, all the just all the graphics, all of it. It was just so good. It really was. Um, yeah, this movie was definitely emotional. I found myself tearing up and crying, like literally in a few scenes. Seriously. Um, but yeah, it was a perfect movie. I think it was there was a perfect balance between dialogue and action, which I really liked. So yeah, so we see how Peter, in No Way Home, everybody lost their memory. MJ, all his friends and whatnot, nobody knows who Peter Parker is anymore. So yeah, we see him just going through everyday life, fighting crime, and he's essentially just by himself. He's by himself in his apartment. Aunt May died too, so he's just by himself. And yeah, he's fighting crime, going through the daily motions. And yeah, we see throughout the movie, he does end up meeting up with Ned and MJ. It was right now they're in college, I believe, and yeah, it was during those scenes where I started getting very emotional, just seeing how much he misses his friend Ned, and his lover MJ. And yeah, it was really, it took an emotional toll on him, and we see that throughout the movie, just how much of an impact, and how frustrating and how difficult it is for Peter just to move on and act like they don't exist anymore. Um, so during those scenes of when he does, talk to them, it's even in the trailers, like he's trying to talk to them. They don't know him, but during those scenes where he's meeting up with them and whatnot, and talking to them, those scenes are very, very emotional and heavy. And yeah, like I said, I was getting very emotional. I was crying a little bit. Um, the main villain is not who I expected. Definitely not who I expected. I'm trying to not do like spoilers. Not who I expected. I knew this person was in the movie, but I didn't. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I almost spoiled it there. Let me refrain. Yeah, the villain is just not who I expected. Not who I expected. There was another person in this movie that I knew was gonna be in there. I don't know how they were gonna integrate this character. I don't know who they were gonna be, but it was interesting to see who that person was and how their impact of this movie, and they pretty much were like the main point of this movie, pretty much. Um, yeah, but I feel like this movie for me really redefined who Spider-Man was, because like I said, Spider-Man was probably my favorite growing up. I watched the movies, the original one with Tobey Maguire. I seen Amazing Spider-Man, but Amazing Spider-Man, I feel like Amazing Spider-Man didn't impact me as it did like with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, like the original one. I I definitely feel like this Spider-Man in terms of visuals was a lot like Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, and Peter Parker, his life. I was thinking a lot about Amazing Spider-Man when it came to this movie, like the visuals, how he was moving and using his webs. And yeah, I thought it was pretty cool seeing Punisher and Peter's interactions. Felt like they worked very well. Um, yeah, I feel like there was a lot of there was a lot of emotion in this movie. It was very emotionally heavy. It was pretty funny too. I liked it. It was pretty funny, and yeah, but like I was saying before, this movie really redefined who Spider-Man is and what it means to be Spider-Man. And what I took from it was, I feel like a lot of the people in this movie, specifically speaking, his lover MJ and his friend Ned, the main villain, Punisher, and yeah, those are the three I'm gonna say. I feel like those people in that movie were meant to kind of show different aspects of Peter's life, and yeah, I feel like those characters kind of defined not just who Peter Parker was, but who Spider-Man is. And those aspects, those characters, those characters in my opinion are like different aspects of him. And yeah, those characters, those aspects of him are within Peter, and he in this movie kind of see how we kind of see how that makes him. I can't put this into words. Okay, so we have different. Each of those people, Ned, MJ, Punisher, and the main villain, they represent. I think they represent different times in Peter's life as well as aspects of Peter and Spider-Man. So, and also him kind of changing and his powers. You guys seen it in the trailer. His powers like evolving. He's like kind of changing. Those things those things are what make up Spider-Man. He has found ways to overcome all the hardships in his life, and there were a lot of things that he had to go through, a lot of lessons that had to be learned in order for him to become who he is now. When it comes to losing someone, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to protecting people, those three characters, those things are kind of integrate in them, and they show up in Peter's life too. We see that in previous movies, during No Way Home, and they kind of, in a way, this movie really allowed them those aspects of not just Spider-Man but Peter Parker to show up. It was a learning lesson for Peter, and it's just so hard. I don't know why I'm like having a hard time really articulating this, but I think you guys understand the gist of what I'm trying to say. Those things that I was talking about, those wouldn't be. Spider-Man wouldn't be. Peter Parker wouldn't be where he is today if it weren't for those things, those aspects, those qualities that he has. And we see that show up a lot when he's undergoing changes with his body and he's evolving. He's trying to work against it instead of working with it. And working with it allows him to evolve, working with those powers, and it kind of alludes to, his emotions, saving people, protecting people, relationships, right? He's in a state where he's trying to push everything away instead of allowing them to come into his life, because he knows he can't do. That was the big lesson. He can't do things alone. And right, he has people that love him a lot, even when he thinks he is lonely and he doesn't have anybody. Those qualities, those lessons, they all integrate into Spider-Man. And he had to kind of reteach himself what it meant to be Spider-Man throughout this movie. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A lot of lessons can be learned from here. Spider-Man is amazing, man, and I feel like I related with this movie a lot too, especially like the big lesson that I just mentioned. So I thoroughly enjoyed this movie a lot. It's probably my favorite movie this year so far. I haven't watched the Odyssey yet. I heard the Odyssey was great. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen the movie yet, I highly recommend you check it out, because definitely emotionally heavy, and it had a good balance between fighting and dialogue. So yeah, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. And yeah, that's it for the review. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.